back to A Traveling Knitter. This is chapter 49. Oh, we're getting there. And to be honest, this is going to be a long one, a very long one. So normally I don't say this, but I would grab a beverage. I happen to be drinking Santa's Secret out of my Los Angeles You Are Here mug, yes. And the tea is contained in this little cute guy, so there it is. So cute. It's just a little owl. One of my best friends got this for me. Very nice. I love Santa's Secret. I got a lot of it for Christmas last year, which was great because it is now officially the holiday season, and I still have some Santa's Secret left. Not a ton, but I have enough to get me through the holidays, and hopefully I get more gifted, or I'm just gonna buy some more myself. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. I have a really nice zit here. Just need to point it out because it is very noticeable in the camera, and it's kind of annoying me, but there's one. There's two right there. But otherwise, everything else that you see on my face is a freckle because my freckles came out like a monster this year. And I really think it's because of all the running that I did outside. So the freckles have not receded yet, and they probably won't for probably another month or two. Okay. We have a jam-packed episode. So really, I shouldn't be doing all this chit-chat at the beginning. I just need to get started. So there's a mountain of things over here, which is why we're at a different angle, because it was just way too cluttered to be in the background of the video. And we kind of have a ton of stuff going on. So the finished objects, I'm just gonna pull them over because I unfortunately put them on the bottom of a pile. Okay, this is gonna be fun cleaning up. So we have 2 Graham hats. So if you're keeping track, I'm very far behind. I'm not hitting that goal. It's not happening. But here is one of them. This does mean I did finish off that blue. So here we have one, and here we have a second one. So you can see this is where I didn't fold it over or flip it inside out because this is currently supposed to be the inside, and this is the correct way to wear it. If you see, I think both ways look great. So this is the second one that I made. Done. I am absolutely loving that pattern. So that's, ooh, I don't have the pattern with me, so unfortunately I don't remember. I could probably look it up in last episodes. Nope. Okay, great. Okay. I don't remember who the designer is for the Graham hat, but I will include it at the bottom. I highly recommend knitting that pattern. It's lots of fun. It's very easy. It's easily memorizable, and the hats look really good, and I'm gonna say they're reversible. So we have 2 finished objects. And I also kind of wanted to, I do want to share a previous finish. It's very tiny. There's going to be a lot of me like reaching and maybe a lot of cuts of me cutting out the reaching. But here he is. It's a little oddish. I really don't remember if I shared this when I made this. I made this many, many years ago to keep on my desk at work. So I brought him home, and here he is. He's just so adorable. It's just I made him up myself. So I just crocheted a circle, and then I crocheted kind of in the round for his feet, which are not stuffed, they are flat. And then for the leaves, probably this one's the best to see, but I essentially chained and then I crocheted around the chain on both sides. And yeah, so I chained and then I crocheted on both sides, and I went down one side and then back the other way, and I did it kind of like a leaf shape with my single, I don't know what all of them are, but it's like single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet instead of triple crochet, half double. So it's just to make the leaf kind of rounded. So it honestly, it's not very noticeable, and I didn't do the same thing with every single leaf. And when I attached the leaf, what I ended up doing was the end I had woven in and out in the center, and then when I wove or attached it, I kind of pulled it and it curled and kind of tucked the leaf in. So that's essentially what I did. There are a lot of oddish patterns, so you can probably find something online, but I just thought he was just so cute. So that is it for completed quests. Moving into current quests, we have quite a lot going, and I made progress in all of them. I was honestly hoping to finish one of these projects, but it didn't happen. And I'm not that mad about it, even though it has been basically a month since I last podcasted. You have seen me basically all month in October, because I did post the Vlogtobers. So I did you saw a lot of the stuff that I was working on, but here's where we formally talk about it. First current quest are these socks. So this is a lot of progress on here. I don't know what it is about socks, but they take me forever to knit. These are the Follow Your Path by Kay Litton, and she is the Crazy Sock Lady here on YouTube. And I'm knitting these on my 9-inch circulars, size 1, I believe. And the yarn that I'm using looks like this in the cake. And I do have the ball tag for this. This is Happy Fuzzy yarn. It is a fingering weight. It is 75-25, but it is superwash Corriedale wool and 25% nylon. 435 yards, and I did purchase this in Plymouth, Michigan, and it is the colorway Vesuvius. And at the time, I spent 29 bucks on it. So I used to write down where I bought my yarn when I would travel for work, because I mean, I'm the traveling knitter. I used to travel every week, and I went to yarn stores, and I always bought yarn from every place that I went to. So this was Plymouth, Michigan. I really don't remember why I was there. I mean, I know why, to do my job, but I can't remember the dealership. No idea. It's been 6.5 years of doing this. I cannot remember anymore. But yeah, so, unfortunately, I really am not enjoying knitting this, and it's basically the combination of the pattern and the yarn together. It is not that the pattern is bad or anything. It's just, there is a stitch, it's basically twisting. So you're twisting I'll even show you right here. So you twist the stitches, or the yarn over. Oh, I can't even say that because that's a thing. I twist the stitches, but then you don't actually knit one of them. So it ends up, are you gonna be able to see that? So right here. So the V that's pointing outward, you're not knitting that so that it stays larger, more open. And what ends up happening is the stitches that are on the needle, they're very close together. And the yarn just fell on the ground. And the Corriedale is kind of sticky, so it does have a bit of a halo, which I don't think you can see that. It does have a bit of a halo. So when I'm knitting it, I have to pull them apart with my fingernail and then stick the needle through, and the needle will sometimes catch the little fibers, and then I gotta rip it. So it's not that the yarn is splitty, because it's not splitty, it's just there are floats of, you know, 2 strands of like the very, very small strands. Can you see it at all that it's like it is kind of fluffy. So it is just a bit of a pain to knit, and this is only the first sock. I'm not a quitter. I don't like to half-ass things, so I will be finishing these. Also, I am doing something a little bit different. I'm just testing it out. So my heel is a little bit, well, no, I don't know why I describe things like that when it doesn't need that descriptor. It's a bit weird. So I'm doing the heel gusset, turn, flap, all that stuff, but I did half the amount of stitches. I have done this on another pair of socks. So I did the same thing, and then when I got to the foot, I actually decreased to the smallest size. So here I have 64 stitches, and then in the foot I have 58. No, 56. So I'm just testing stuff out, just trying to see what's gonna work. And I think I might have messed up because I ended up needing to decrease one of the stitches to make the stitch pattern even in the front, but honestly I think it'll be fine. So I'm just trying out a bunch of different things. You can see it definitely did some pulling. Originally these were going to be my Gladys socks, but I did not like the pulling. I think they look fine on here. It is a little bit harder to see the pattern, but they look pretty cool. I would have hated this on the Gladys because I am knitting the Gladys for the pattern. This is just kind of like a combo. So yeah, but you can kind of see how the swirl is pretty consistent here, but not up here. And this is the last bout of knitting. So there we have it. And the stitch marker is one that I made myself with a random bead that I have. I do have another sock in this project bag, and I will show it, even though I did barely any work on it, but I did work a little bit. And these are the Gladys socks by, it says General Hogbuffer. I'm not really sure what the actual name of this person is, but here we go. I believe I did one round. And I also have a stitch marker that I made myself using some random beads, and the yarn that I am using, I do have the tag for this as well. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering in the City Lights Speckle. I purchased this at the warehouse sale that Knit Picks had earlier this summer, and I love the colorway on this, but I'm being all negative. Hawthorne is not my favorite yarn to knit with, and it really is just because of how tightly coiled the yarn is. It's just not my favorite. It's an 80-20, and 80-20s just are not my favorite. I just don't like the way that the 80-20s look. I don't hate it. I will absolutely continue to buy 80-20s, but given the option between the tightly coiled spun yarn and the less tightly coiled spun yarn, I will go with the less. So this Gladys is on my Make 9. I'm making so much progress, but yeah, so not much to say about it since there isn't much going on there. Both of my socks are inside of my first Fringe Supply Co bag, so my first Fringe Field bag, and I always like to point out I have a pin right here that says, "She ain't messin' with no broke niffler." This is from Ink and Wonder. And then from Disney World, I have the Squeaky Squeak Squeaker Squeakin' from one of my favorite movies, The Emperor's New Groove, which I should watch again. I should watch that again. All right. Oh, I forgot to put my tag in. The next work in progress, or quest, is my Threshold sweater, which is the project that I had wanted to finish. And we're almost there. The royal we is almost there. Okay, let's hold this up and not lose any stitches. There is yarn all over the place, but here we are. Here's the body. I do have a stitch marker here, and I think, I don't know, maybe this is where I was at last time when I podcasted about this. I really can't remember since it has been a month, but I'm gonna just take that off. And I've got sleeve and sleeve. So the reason why I stopped on the sleeve, I am at the point where I am going to be doing the ribbing. And again, the reason why I stopped is I wasn't sure about how much yarn I would have. So for this sleeve, I finished off the the ball that I had, and then I continued on with the other partial skein. So with the ribbing, I have this much left, and then I started the other one with the brand new skein, so the full 50 gram, and I am almost finished with the cable-y stitch detail. Not almost, honestly, I just started, but there's only 16 rounds. So, and I have this much. So hold them up. So there is, honestly, I think there might even be more in this one because it does feel a little bit more tightly wound than this one, but we're almost the same. I think I will have enough. This is all I have left, and I just have to do the ribbing on the sleeves, but I'm going to make long sleeves. So we're just gonna go until these are out. And this sweater is gonna be done this weekend. I am so inspired, and I can't wait to wear this sweater. I have admired this sweater for so long. I can't wait to block it because the bottom looks kind of wonky. Oh, I hope that this fits nice. I hope it looks good. I'm very pleased. I'm pleased, excited, happy. And I used light bulb stitch markers to keep track of my decreases so they match. Yeah. Threshold Sweater by Melanie Berg, knit in the Quince & Co. Chickadee Glacier colorway, which is 100% merino. And I have used, I don't know how many skeins, but it ended up being perfect for how much I needed. So once this is done, blocked, I will post my information on my Ravelry page because I need to get better at doing that. The Threshold Sweater has lived in one of my favorite bags, which is the Daisy Girl & Company, and it's a peekaboo bag, and it is the Peter Pan fabric. In you go, little sweater baby. More like a sweater adult because you are almost fully grown. The last works in progress are, not that, this is the headband that I wore yesterday in the freezing cold. But here is my market bag. I love this thing, and it is where my hats have been living. So here's one of them. This is a bit smaller, less stitches. My hair is getting everywhere. Less stitches, but, you know, catering to the smaller heads. And we have this much yarn left. This will definitely This will make some more brims. I think I'll do some brims, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm gonna switch it up and start knitting a different hat pattern. And oh my gosh, okay. And then I do have another, oh no, I don't have another hat going. I thought I had more, but we have purple and black still. So yeah, I think I will switch it up and go with a different hat pattern. And I'm not sure which one I will knit next, but I'm ready for something new, even though I am really enjoying the Graham hat. All right, so that takes us to On the Horizon. And on my horizon is the Weekender sweater. So once I finish my threshold, which should be this weekend, I'm gonna start the Weekender, and I have the yarn for it, which, oh, and the Weekender is by Andrea Mowry. But that takes us to probably one of the longest segments, which is going to be Smaug's Trove, because we have a haul. That we do. And the phone just fell, so if the angle has changed, that's why. I caught it and stuck it back up there. We're gonna take a little tea break. Fun fact about me, I was born in Los Angeles. Didn't live there long. Pretty sure we left like a couple months after I was born. I just get the title of it on my birth certificate. I am not a California girl, as much as I wish I was. I guess we're gonna start, we'll start with the Knit Picks order. And the reason why we'll start with that is because of the Weekender. I made a Knit Picks order, and I purchased yarn for my Weekender sweater. The yarn I'm gonna use is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed in the Flagstone Heather colorway, and the Down Heather colorway. So this is Flagstone, the darker one, and Down is the lighter one. They're both grays, and I'm going to hold them together. So I'll hold them double. It'll be like a bit of a marled Weekender. It's really soft, and it looks like they are changing the labels. And I did notice on Ravelry that Knit Picks changed their yarns to say crochet all or something. I don't know what that's about. I probably should do some research. Maybe, I don't know, rebranding. But I will say, I like the new labels. So this, but I think the reason why I like the new labels is just, this is the label that they've had since the very first time I purchased from Knit Picks, which was when I was in college. So this just looks, you know, it's new. So I purchased, I think 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I purchased 5 of each, so there is a total of 10. And one of them is 50 grams. It is a 65% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, and 10% Donegal tweed, 231 yards. I also purchased 2 skeins of Aloft in black. So this is their mohair. It's lace weight. It is 72% Super Kid mohair and 28% silk, 260 yards. Oh, and 25 grams. So purchased 2 of those just so that I could try out their mohair. Okay. The next bit of Smaug's Trove I'll talk about is the yarn that my mom bought in Germany and sent to me. So we have 6 skeins of Regia and 2 of each color. So we have, this is called Astro Color 4 Faetic, 4 strands, 4 ply. They are 50 grams each. My mom purchased them from a store called Real. They were on clearance for $2 or €2 each. This is colorway 06653. It is kind of like a jean, a blue jean color, and then almost like an acid wash blue jean color, and then a purpley maroon. Honestly, what I should be doing is having like a big basket for all of this yarn that's about to be thrown on the ground. The next one we have is, this one's called Sockenwolle, which just means sock wool. 4-strand, 4-ply color. This is basically, this is a deep navy blue with kind of gray also. Also discounted to €2. The colorway is 02264. And then the last one is another Astro color, 50 grams. It is a gray, like a darker and a lighter gray, and then a blue, but more of a jewel tone blue, which I like. I like this one. And the colorway for this one is 06658. Let's break it up and let's talk about some pattern books that I purchased. For pattern books, I did purchase the last line of magazine. The yarn store that I went to is Yarn It and Haberdashery. It is in Columbus, and they did have the corrected interview, and I pulled it out because the ends were starting to ruffle. To be honest, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cut this out and actually just tape it inside of my book. So it is the last Lina magazine, which I'm really sad about because I love the patterns in here, and I do own almost all of them. I will be finishing the collection. They are a bit on the expensive side, but it's worth it. The books themselves smell weird. I always think that when I get these. But I love the advertisements in here. I think they're beautiful. They're part of the book. And the patterns are beautiful this go around as well. So there's this beautiful, beautiful sweater. I'm not going to go through every single one, but there's this beautiful sweater as well, which is very interesting in the yoke. I love this one. This is the cover sweater. Very interesting. I really want to make that. And then this sweater right here, love it. I'll be honest, the picture isn't very good for this sweater. It is all over cables, so maybe you can see it on the other side. So yeah, very glad that I got this. I also grabbed this little pattern. Isn't it adorable? They're mug sweaters. And this one did come with a scratch off to have a copy of the pattern through Ravelry. Big fan. I'm gonna make a couple of these as Christmas gifts this year. I don't plan to buy the mugs because I feel like all of my friends, we all have so many mugs. So rather than giving them another mug, I think I'm just gonna give them the little mug sweaters. Hopefully that's okay. I feel like, I don't know. Is it better to give them another mug? I mean, I think I'm literally pushing 100 mugs. Like, I have so many mugs. I had mugs specifically for my office, and I had over 10 mugs at work. So I really don't need more mugs, which is why I was thinking just the little sweaters would be cute. I don't know. I picked up Stephen West's A New Shawl book. So excited for this. Here's the back. Look at this dog. Yeah, big fan. So excited. They're definitely crazy, but you can, like this one, totally wearable. All the colors match, that it goes well together. You know, this one, amazing. I love it. Can't wait. So excited for this. And lastly, I did pick up this. So this is Knitbot Essentials by Hannah Fettig. And this does have the featherweight cardigan, which was really popular a couple years ago. And let me see where it is. A lot of them are very similar, but different. So here's the featherweight, which is actually the cover. So I picked this up because I've always wanted to knit a featherweight, and I liked the other ones that were in here as well. We're almost to the Vogue Knitting Live haul, so before we get to that, I do have a little bit of a fabric haul, and these are fat quarters that I found at Aldi. And they actually all go together. They were two separate fat quarters, so two. And it is, I think it's linen, so these will be interesting. And, oh, what's this? Huh, there's a template for bunting. Well, that's cute. I don't know if I'm gonna make bunting, but yeah, so check your Aldi. Maybe they have some. So mine was pretty picked over, but this was the only one of this color, which I really liked. And then there was another one that I wanted that they didn't have. But so they're flower. Oh, this is like gold. It is definitely there. Yeah, gold. And then some polka dots and stripes. And then just a solid. And then for this one, flowers, just a solid pink, polka dots, flowers, wavy stripes, and branches. Each bundle came with 6, and they were $5 at Aldi. So I thought that was a good price, especially since it feels like linen. The next part of the haul, because that's what it is all from Vogue Knitting Live. And to start it off, we're not going in the order that I purchased it, but I did pick up a needle felting kit. Look at these trees. This is adorable. I wanted to purchase so many of their kits, but I figured I would start with one just in case I hate it. I did purchase the small blocking mat. The guy that was there selling these, I believe it was a husband and wife duo. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think so. And me and my friend, we spoke to him, and I said this is the one I wanted, and he grabbed the mat for me. And I want to show you these because it's packaged beautifully. It comes with everything that you need. Oh, and it's felted sky. So, beautiful box. You've got tissue paper wrapping them together. And then you have some instruction booklets. You have the pattern. And then you have all the felt just nicely placed in here. You have my project comes with pieces of wood. And then there is a little thing for your needles. A beautiful kit. Beautiful. And I mean, doesn't this just look cute? Love it. So put all that back in there. I really can't wait to start this. I'm very excited for this. And I picked the trees picked the trees because I thought this would be perfect for Christmas as decoration. So really pleased with that. I don't remember how much I spent on this. Maybe 35? Love it though. Next, let's do the bags because I did purchase some bags. I bought 3 bags. So I bought this one right here because it is geometric owls. I love this. Absolutely love this. I was kind of disappointed because there's no brand. There's no brand name on this. There's no tag, nothing. So I don't know. Whoop. So I don't know who made this. It does have this beautiful yarn tassel. Big fan of that. I just thought this was really cool. I did purchase another bag, and maybe there's a... Nope, there's no brand on this one either. So I found this amazingness. It is full with all of my sample knits from the classes that I took, but I love this. I've got 4 tassels, so 2 on each end. The back is a different fabric. It does have a cord here, or a handle. The inside does not have a pocket, which is fine because the outside does have a pocket, 2 pockets right here. And there is a little ring here. So then when I cinch it up, their handle works beautifully. And the pockets stick out too, so quite nice. I love this. This one was $65, but love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Amazing. So these, I believe, are the same maker, but there is no tag. So I really have no idea who made this, which is sad because I bought 2 of their bags. And then the last bag I purchased is Withering Sheep, and it is this. So I was at wool gathering, a couple months ago, and she had these bags, and I loved them, and I love this one, and this is Yarnbird. She is a yarn truck that is local to Columbus, Ohio. So she was there and she had these bags. This is the large bag. There is a smaller one, but the large one has a pocket in the center right there. So you can use it to divide your yarn. There are those little side snaps for your yarn. Honestly, I never use these, but it is handy that it's there. And this also cinches closed. Oop. Almost went through on the other side. So, and it's just a natural. I love it. Love it. And last thing that was not yarn that I purchased are these stitch markers. These are from Katrinkles, and it is just awesome. I love her logo. So I grabbed these. I'm wanting to make my own stitch marker advent calendar. So yeah, I'm gonna order some stitch markers from some random places and then wrap them up and then mix them up, and then just take one every day. And now on to more yarn. So we will do this a little bit by group. I purchased 4 skeins. Okay, I should face you when I talk. I purchased 4 skeins from a yarn dyer called Teal Torch Knits from Portland, Oregon. And this is the one that caught my eye. I love this. It is bright, crazy. I had seen this from outside of her booth and I made a beeline for it. It is gorgeous. She even had a sample sweater knit up in this, and I couldn't decide what sweater I wanted, so in the end I decided this is going to be a ripple bralette, and I will wear it with pride, and I can't wait for this. I am so crazy about the neon orange, the crazy speckles. So this is her TTK sock, which Teal Torch Knit sock. It is a 75-25 and 463 yards. The colorway is called Dancing on Top of Cars. I do not know the reference, but I am pumped. Next, I purchased 4 skeins. Well, 2 skeins of each color. So I have here, again, TTK sock, and this is called A Sunday Kind of Love. Oh, I love this color. So I purchased 2. And then I also purchased mohair to go with it. And this is her fluff base, which is 72-28 kid hair silk. 459 yards, 50 grams, and the colorway is Sinking in My Soul. These 2 are going to be a Birds of a Feather by Andrea Mowry. I had never heard of that dyer and I fell in love. So excited about that. Then I grabbed 2 of this. This is the Pittsburgh Yarn Company Birmingham in Bryce Canyon. This is the 85% superwash, 25% Donegal Nep, 438 yards. Love it. I wish there had been a 3rd skein so that I could have made, an all-over sweater. But the plan is that I am going to make a sweater with this, and I am going to do probably the brim and the neck, basically all of the ribbing in a different color. Love this. All of these yarns are colorways or yarns that I had looked at the first day and then ended up purchasing the second day. 4 more skeins to go. This is the only yarn that I did not pick out the day before. This is Lavender Loon Yarn Company. I have seen her on Instagram, so I've never purchased, but love this. Isn't this beautiful? This is her fingering. It is 100% superwash BFL. 657 yards in each of these. It's 150 grams, and this is in the Fin colorway. I love this. Yep, gonna itch my nose on it. Probably the worst thing I could do. So these together are going to be a sweater. I don't know what sweater, but it was just, as I kept saying, so economical. So I grabbed 2 of them. And then this guy. This is beautiful. I doubt the camera is going to do it justice. This is Murky Depths Dye Work. Harbor is the yarn, and it is 100% superwash merino wool singles, 400 yards, and the colorway is Dear Joanne. I don't think it's Dear John. It looks like an A. I stood in this booth for so long because I don't know what to pair this with, and everything I paired with it, this then became the accent color. I wanted this to be the focal point. So I think what I want to do is like a suburban wrap or something with a couple different colors and mainly solids. So I did pick up this to go with it, and this is from the Golden Pearls. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love this. Each of the colorways are named after the show. So this one's called Frickin' Frugal. It is another single ply. It is 400 yards. Love it. which completes the entire Smaug's Trove. And I'm glad to be not touching yarn anymore because my nose is driving me crazy. I don't know what is happening, but it is so unbelievably itchy and so red now. Okay. I did go and replenish my tea. Technically the next segment is a novel idea, but yeah, actually let's just jump in and then we'll recap Vogue Knitting Live. A novel idea is a segment where I talk about the books that I have read since the last episode. And since the last episode, I have read 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, yes. I have finished 5 books. Now 4 of those are manga, but we're gonna count them. I only have 2 of the manga here. I have volume 4 and volume 5 because I have returned volume 2 and 3, but this is Sunny by Taiyo Matsumoto, and I recommend these. I recommend this. If you've never read a manga before and you want to try these. These are great. So basically Sunny is a car and the stories revolve around children that are in foster care, and the foster care is called Star Kids, and it's just so good. It's really good. Each of the kids has their own story, their own personality and reasons for doing things, and I highly recommend it. I've rated 2, it's basically a 5-star read. Just read it. The novel that I finished is Sawkill Girls by Claire Lebrun. I can't remember. I gave this book 4 stars. It was the perfect book to read for the Halloween spooky season. It is about Sawkill is an island that has girls that go missing, and the island seems to just be like, the people on the island just seem to be okay with this. So we have a girl who has lived on this island forever with her mom, and then we follow a girl who has just moved to the island with her sister and her mom, and then we have another girl whose father is the chief of police, I believe. So you kind of follow all 3 of them, and it's good. It's really good. Highly recommend it. It is a feminist book. It's very girl power and just talking about men bringing you down, but it is a YA, so it's very approachable, and just, it was a great book. Highly recommend reading it. It took me a little bit to get in, and then I flew through it, so really recommend it. And with that, we are at the final segment, which is Life as I See It, Know It, whatever. It's the life section, and it's been a month since I last podcasted. Now, again, I did do Vlogtober, so you did see a lot of what was going on in my life, basically everything. And for those of you who did not watch it, that's totally fine. I'll just recap a lot of it. So, first off, I completed my half marathon. I am a half marathoner, and I ended up PRing, which is stands for personal record, and I finished in 2 hours and 37 minutes, something like that, which is amazing because my goal was 3 hours. So yeah, I beat it by a lot. I was exhausted. I was so exhausted. My calves hurt worse than they've ever hurt, ever. The calves were bad. Also, I was having a hard time at the end breathing. So I do have asthma, like acute asthma. My asthma barely bothers me. It has been getting worse with my allergies, and I wouldn't even know that they coincide until I went to the doctor, and she asked if I had asthma because she could, I guess she could tell. So they kind of, during allergy season, my asthma acts up. So normally I'm fine during races, and I just didn't think about it, and I didn't bring it with me, but it was colder when we were running. It was around 50-ish degrees when we started, and it was like 55, 58 when we finished. And when I was younger, my asthma did act up in the winter. So this is my fault. I just didn't think about it. And funny enough, we were talking about asthma on the drive up because the girl that I was running with, I guess she was talking about how a kid had died because he had an asthma attack. And I think he died I don't know. It was something like, and I was like, oh, well, I have asthma, just in case any of you need to know. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, I do. It just never rears its head or anything. So I was not prepared for it to rear its head when I finished my run. I don't think anyone noticed because I was working very hard to keep it, get it under control again. So basically, it kind of just feels like something is like standing right here. Like it's just pressure right here, and you can't like take a deep breath. Like you just can't. So that's what it feels like for me. I don't know if that's normal. I don't have anyone in my life that has asthma that I know of. But that's what it feels like to me. And when I finished the race, it was happening. You can also feel, it's like you feel your pulse right here, or your heartbeat or whatever. So I just had a pretty difficult time catching my breath. I would say it wasn't until 20 minutes after that I could talk normally. So that was, honestly, it was more embarrassing, because it sounded like I was crying. So, yeah, we finished, we're getting snacks and food, and I'm like, let's go to the gong. I couldn't talk normal, and then my parents called me, and I couldn't talk to them, and so they're like, we'll call you back later. I'm like, okay. Like, I really did not expect that. Did not expect to have such a problem when I was finished. So, lesson learned, bring your inhaler. Let's talk about, also, I did go to Vogue Knitting Live. There is my tag thing. I took 3 classes. The first one I took on Saturday with Michelle Bernstein. It was favorite shawl shapes, so it was designing shawls and just learning the shawl shapes. Then on Sunday I took a 2-pattern double knitting class with Alistair Post-Quinn. And then lastly, mind-blowing reversible cables by Leapman. I forget what her first name is. Now I feel really bad. I enjoyed every single one of my classes, and I feel so inspired to just design stuff. I have so many ideas, and I have so many ideas drawn and started, and then I just don't finish them. So I really, really want to make an effort to do that. So some of the things we did, I made little bitty shawls, and then I did double knitting. So there's the front, so you can see they're different letters. One is the Z, and then the other one is a Q. And then double or 2-sided cables. So there's one side, one side, the other side. So you can see it's reversible. And then here's another one. So there's one side, there's the other. And then the last one, I did not finish, but it is also reversible. So I had a lot of fun with those classes, and I am now following them all on Instagram, and I signed up for their newsletters, and I'm all about it. I would absolutely go to Vogue Knitting Live again, and I would absolutely sign up to take classes. one of my friends in my knitting group, she took 6 classes. I don't think I would take 6. The 3 was great because it ended up being that we had a whole morning to go to the market, and then we had the classes are each 3 hours, and then for lunch you have a 2-hour break, so we were able to go get lunch and go to the market. So this ended up working out perfectly. The marketplace also had giveaways. We didn't win any of them, but that was quite nice as well. Next, I have an interesting question. So, I use a water, if anyone is still listening at this point, I use a water kettle, and like an electric water kettle, and I love it. But the water here is so hard. I get calcium buildup like never before. And so there's calcium buildup all over my sink. It is a bitch to clean. I use, what is that stuff? It's it's like an acronym, but I use that, and like I have gloves on. I breathe to the side because it's so strong, and even that I struggle to get the calcium buildup off. So inside of my water kettle, there's calcium buildup, and it is several layers thick. Now there is a ring where every now and then it just like explodes, and then I get all these slivers of calcium. I'm gonna post a picture of it so you can see what I'm talking about. They're shards of calcium. I don't know how to clean that out of my water kettle. So today I spent quite a bit of time cycling hot water through, and then swirling it around, and then dumping it, and then kind of trying to scratch at it with my finger, but it's so hot in there, and it's like a chalkboard. It's horrible. I don't know how to clean that. So if anyone has any suggestions of what I should do, because I would like to continue to use my water kettle. Like, I'm going to continue using it until the whole thing explodes. But it's nasty. I hate the calcium buildup. I told my mom was like, well, you should put filtered water in there. I've even started to do that, but the filter is just not getting the calcium out. So it's horrible. There's calcium buildup everywhere, like the bathroom, the sinks. It's so bad here. It's so unbelievably bad. But yeah, the water kettle is probably the most annoying thing right now, because it's centimeters thick of this weird calcium buildup. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know. And scratch my nose again. And the last thing that I want to talk about is a big life update. So, you may, if you watched the vlogs, you may have wondered why I wasn't at work on some of the days, and why I was at home at weird hours. I quit. I quit my job, and like, not maliciously or anything, and I'm starting a new one on Monday, and I'm so excited. So my previous job was, I was a software implementation specialist officially for 4 years, and then I moved internal to be something called an advanced service coordinator, which is just jargon for my company. I was still considered a software implementation specialist. I just didn't install software as often. I did a lot of prep work beforehand. So for 4 years, I traveled nonstop almost every week, and then I moved internal, and then I traveled every other week, and then I slowed down, and then I didn't travel almost I think I travel maybe 2 times in a year. And then this last year, I've traveled once a month. And I love traveling. It's just the people that I work with. How to put this eloquently? Most of them are assholes. So I work at dealerships, and you're there to teach them a product and show them how to use it. And the people you're I feel like I've talked about this before. The people that you're teaching, they could care less. They do not want to learn this new product. They don't want you there because they're doing their own job. Like, they still have to do their job. They don't also want to learn what you're teaching them. So it can be quite draining. And not to toot my own horn, I did it longer than most anyone. So our team right now, well, the team that I was on, even though I haven't traveled for a couple years, I'm still, with my 4 years of being on the road, I did it the longest. No one has done it for more than 4 years. People normally do 1 to 2 years and then they're done. So I was immensely proud that I did it for 4 years, and even more proud that I was still doing it for, in the end, 6.5 years. But the last year, not to get too nitty gritty about it, I tend to be the exception for some things. So there were some privileges that were granted right after I would leave a position, and so then I wouldn't get them, which is fine, but I have tenure with the company, quite a lot of tenure, and I just kind of got frustrated that I wasn't, I had a simple request that every single person on my team had, other than me. And it was just frustrating to see it. If no one else had this privilege, I wouldn't need it. My new job, I don't have this privilege. It's working from home. So, it wasn't that I needed to work from home. It's just that everyone else got to do it and I didn't. And I found that unfair. And I know there's that stupid phrase of life's unfair, get over it, blah, 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 blah. But I think there are times when the term unfair is justifiable. And I felt that that was. And I'm not mad at my company, or at like my boss and stuff like that. No, I genuinely like my boss. I've liked all of my bosses, and it did feel really, it felt really hard actually to leave my company. I'm sorry, I'm not crying. It's just my nose is so itchy. It did feel weird because 6.5 years, and it was my first job out of college, and it was longer than my college. It was longer than my high school. I mean, not combined, but you basically live with your coworkers, and you get so close to them. You're friends with them. I have friends all over the country now, and it's all because of this job. I've traveled. I've stayed in hundreds of hotels. I've taken hundreds of flights. I've driven. I'm so confident in my driving. I have no problems driving in rush hour traffic in New York City. That doesn't bother me. And it really is because of this company. And I paid off my student loans because of this company. Because they didn't pay them off, but because of my salary. I've done that. I paid off my car. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with 4 sinks. So there's a lot to be grateful for, but really it was just time to move on. I felt like my brain was turning into mush because I wasn't using it. So I'm ecstatic for what's in store. It is going to be a bit of a change because I will be moving to Columbus, which I'm also really excited about. Not all, but my best friends are all in Columbus, and it has been a bit of a trial to drive up there all the time. I do go there a lot. I've actually been to Columbus 5 I'm pretty sure 5 times in 2.5 weeks. So I will be commuting starting on Monday. I will be driving back and forth. And my lease is up in March, so I will be moving then. It's about $3,000 to break my lease, so that's not happening. So yeah, I have couches that I'm going to be surfing, and I've got an end date. I got a pay raise, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready to live in the city. And Dayton's been great, but I don't really have any attachments to this city. Most of my friends don't live here anymore. They've moved. They live in Cincinnati, they live in Michigan, they live in Columbus. There's like 5 people who live in Dayton still. Most people commute, so I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I'm happy. That is the thing I could not tell you on the vlog. The little clip of me sitting at Starbucks was me waiting for my interview, which was on a Wednesday. I did take a sick day for it. Or not a sick day, a vacation day. Took a vacation day, drove there, drove back, but I'm really happy. Like I said, it was harder than I thought it would be to leave. It wasn't hard to make the decision, but my last day was yesterday, Thursday, and it was weird. It was pretty weird. I don't know if any of my coworkers watch this, but I do appreciate you. You made my 6.5 years awesome after college. It felt like a continuation of college, and I gained a lot of skills, and I wouldn't say it changed who I am, but I think it enhanced and honed who I am. I've always been a confident person, but I have more confidence. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this. I went and saw the U.S. women's national team yesterday. It was U.S. versus Sweden. We won 3-2. It was a little hairy there in the second half. Like, what happened there? But if you don't know, 17 is Tobin Heath. She's my fave. Not just because her last name is my hometown, but she is amazing and hilarious because she's just so chill. Not like me, but yeah, so she started, but there was a lot of youngins on the field in the second half. It was pretty cool. Rose Lavelle is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and so she like she did the corner near where we were, and the crowd was just screaming her name, and you don't hear that when you watch the games on TV, but it was really cool to be a part of that. Also, it was really cool because it was 38 degrees. It was so cold. So cold. My feet hurt so bad. I don't have any winter shoes, so I need to remedy that. I need to buy some snowshoes, some waterproof shoes, something. I was wearing one of my Chucks, and somehow they were wet. So I ended up taking my shoes off and wrapping them in my blanket. I had one hot hand. I really needed to purchase more, but my feet, they hurt so bad. But otherwise, it was amazing. The rest of my body was fine. It was just my feet. And they were bad. Real bad. But it was amazing. It it was amazing. It was amazing to see them in person. I went with one of my best friends, and she was probably getting annoyed, but I was like pointing at all the players and just giving her random facts about all the players. So like when Rose came up and everyone was screaming, I was like, she's local, she's from Ohio. This is why they're screaming. And I was like, that's Tobin, that's Tobin, that's Tobin. And then when she'd come up on the screen, I was like, look, it's Tobin. And it was awesome, and yeah, it was good. We had really good seats, I thought, and I only spent $55 on them, so I had such a good time. This has been a really good couple weeks. It's been hectic, crazy. I've driven back and forth. I did 2 interviews and got the job, all within the span of 60 hours. I had a party at work and had donuts and bagels and muffins and fruit and juice. Went to Vogue Knitting Live, bought so much stuff. I'm having a party tomorrow even, for friends, low-key party, to celebrate that I'm debt-free. So it's just been really good, really good. We're entering the holidays. I'm ready. I have my plane ticket to go to my parents for Thanksgiving. For Christmas, we're still up in the air on that. Don't know what we're doing. I thought I knew what we're doing, but now I don't know what we're doing, so that's cool. But yeah, it's quite a lot. Anything new in your lives? Because clearly there's lots new in my life. I feel like I'm all over the place. I feel like this is going to be a super long podcast. Also, look how long my hair is getting. It's so long. Yes. It's long. Oh, no. It's also getting lighter. You could see a lot of the blonde highlights there. Oh, I'm going to have to find a new hair person. I'm ready. Fast forward in a couple months or even 2 and I'll probably hate the commute. I'm already dreading it. I hate driving. I hate driving because I find that it's wasted time. I don't mind being in the car if I'm not driving, because then I can knit or read or cross stitch or color, basically do something. It's just driving I really can't stand. I will probably be listening to a lot of podcasts. I haven't really been feeling audiobooks. Just have not felt like listening to audiobooks. So probably be doing a lot of podcasts. At this point I'm rambling and I need to just stop because this phone is about to die. But again, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything, drop them down below. If you know how to stop the calcium buildup in your water kettle, please let me know because I have a problem. And all the social medias will be on the screen somewhere. I am a Traveling Knitter podcast on Instagram. We do have a Traveling Knitter group on Ravelry. Nothing's happening there. I just have it created so that when I do want to do giveaways and stuff, I can. I really don't want to do anything until we hit like 200, which I will do a giveaway when we hit 200. But so let your friends know. We're 15 away from 200, I think. So, yep, and then I am LuluisCrazy on Goodreads if you would like to follow me there. Goodreads, if you've never used Goodreads, that is a fabulous social media for reading, and we're here on YouTube. All right, thank you guys, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.